Hi guys, welcome to Creative Tap. Today we're going to be looking at a new feature in Photoshop 2021, which is the amazing sky replacement tool. It's really awesome, so let's cue the intro and dive on in. So this sky replacement, if I just show you very quickly, it's really powerful. I mean, we're using this example where we've got multiple tones in the background, the greys, the whites, the blues, and we've got these sort of really tricky edges of the palm trees, and boom, like it's so powerful, I can't even describe it. So we're going to start with this image. So all we need to do is make sure the image is selected, go to Edit and come down to Sky Replacement. You'll get this window and it's going to select the last sky that I used. So you can select different ones. So let's come to Spectacular and let's select this one, for example. Okay, actually I don't like that one. Let's go for, I think, this moody looking sky. Okay, so this Shift Edge, all this does is it's selected an edge around these mountains, and Shift Edge is basically like edge expansion. So if we come into the minus, it pushes it back out. If we come into the pluses, it kind of bleeds over into the mountains. So let's see how it does at 0. I think you can probably come in just a touch, just to give a bit more detail by here. Fade edge, that's the kind of transition between the two. So fade at 100, it'll be very feathered, and it'll be less feathered down here. So this is basically like edge expansion and edge feathering. We've got sky adjustments, so we can make the sky brighter, we can make it darker, we can make it a bit warmer, and we can make it a little bit cooler. Okay, so that's what we've got going on there. Let's make it a touch brighter and maybe a touch warmer. Okay, you've also got foreground adjustments. So this is the lighting of the foreground. So if I adjust my lighting by here, bring this up, you'll see on the peaks of these mountains by here, you can see how it affects it. It's sort of brightening and darkening that. And I think I'm going to have it relatively bright. And you've also got color adjustments. You can make it a little bit warmer and a little bit cooler. So play around with these. Now, you can also flip the sky if you wanted to. So let's say our light source is actually coming from this side. So I think it probably suits to have the light this side. Although the light would probably be coming from the back. So again, you just got to pick the sky that kind of suits best. So maybe let's go into blue skies and pick this, for example. And then we'll have to come down into the temperature and just make it a little touch warmer, that sky, and come into our color adjustment down here and just play around with these until you get something that's looking kind of there. Okay, now when you output this, you can output this to a duplicate layer or new layers. See the plural there. I prefer new layers because when you do this, let's click OK. We've now got a folder, so we've got this sort of sky temperature adjustment layer. You've got this sort of sky by here. You've got the foreground lighting, there's not much going on there, but you've got the curves adjustment. So if you go to the curves, you can actually see what it's doing, and you can actually modify this itself. Okay, so you've got this as a little folder, which is really cool. Okay, so we're now going to try this background. You can see we've got multiple different tones in the background. We've got blues, we've got whites, we've got greys, and we've got these complex foreground shapes, okay? So let's go to Edit and Sky Replacement. I'm going to use this sort of really orangey sky purely because it's very different from the blue sky that was there originally. Now looking at this image, we've still got a little bit of blue halo in around there. So for the Shift Edge, we can bring this down just a touch, maybe like that. Oh no, sorry, up just a touch, something like that, okay? And also play with the Fade Edge if you want. That's the sort of feather between the two. You can go to sky adjustments, maybe darken the sky if we want to, or brighten it, maybe make it a little bit colder or a little bit warmer, something like that. I think I like the warmth and maybe a bit darker. So real sunset. You can flip it if you want. I think actually I prefer it when it's flipped with that one. Then we can come to the lighting adjustment and have a look there. It makes it brighter, or we can make it darker. And I think because there's not a lot of light in this scene, actually making it darker will be good. And you can also come to color adjustments. You can increase the warmth in there or make them quite cold. And again, increasing the warmth is going to make them fit best. So if we turn this on and off, you can see that's where we've come from. Okay. And we can click OK. And again, we've got this little, we've got this sort of adjustment layer here. So one thing I did notice is it's taken out a little bit of the tree trunks by here, and I'm not happy with it. So because we've got this mask, what we can do is we can get our brush tool and come in a little bit more, and we can actually invert the colors and we can paint this tree trunk back in because we're on a layer mask by here, and it's just masking in or out the sky. So we can kind of come up here, and you can definitely see down here we're missing some detail, so we can paint that back in, and that's really, really handy. So very, very quickly, let's just paint a little bit back in here. Very, very quickly, we've got some really, really good sky replacements, which we can also modify. This is missing quite a bit, so what we can do is bring this back in, okay? And I'm doing it very roughly, but you know, we will end up with some really, really good sky replacements. So I hope you guys learned something new there. Let me know in the comments what you think of this sky replacement tool. Do you think it's good? Do you think it can be better? Maybe send in some of your examples if you want to. But yeah, cheers for tuning in. Check out some of our other tutorials, and I'll see you in another video.